Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. Today we're gonna do a classic read, so without further ado I'll go right into it and we'll start with an oracle message for each of the twin collectives, and then we'll dive deeper into what's going on in the energy. What do we need to know, what else do we need to know about the journey right now, what kind of theme are we looking at. And as you know, true twin flames, they are working on the same karmic themes at the same time. It may look quite different in terms of 3D, but in terms of the meaning behind it and lessons of learning, they're usually very much mirroring each other, which is why this part is important. And finally, we'll see how the twins are seeing the connection at this time. What are they thinking about it? How are they moving towards it, if at all? All right, so let's see what the message is. And of course, a reminder, please don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed what I'm doing. For divine feminines, we have the card that we had for divine masculines the other day. Enter, one step forward, one step onward. Very interesting, right? And that's another example of how the energies mirror each other. But now the feminine is being asked to take consistent action, even if it's a little change every day. Maybe it doesn't look significant on the outside, but you know that those are the necessary steps to go forward, and you also trust the process. So there's a certain level of trust there. If you think about Knight of Pentacles energy, which to me this is a representation of, it is like that, right? Because the Knight keeps taking those small steps, and the Knight is thinking long-term picture, right? Strategy. And of course they don't know exactly that things are gonna work out. Are they gonna work out exactly the way that I want? There is no telling that at that moment, but they still continue taking the steps nonetheless because there's faith in it. All right, for divine masculines, what do we have for today? Number 8, coming soon. Welcome to the next ascending age. So masculines are being upgraded to the next step, to the next phase. And right now it's like when you switch schools, right? And you come to a new school, and it's like, on the one hand, you kind of know what school actually is as an establishment, right? So you pretty much know the rules, you know who to ask what, but still it's like there are all these new people, hopefully some students you know, but not always, new teachers anyway, new building, new setup, maybe even like new layout of the building, of the lockers, new food at the cafe, whatever else it can be, right? Like it's a new world really, right? And it's like there is that period of adjustment, kind of a shock vibe, where it's like, oh, there's too much of unknown, it's overwhelming. Just like getting through the day, doing your usual things that you would do in school, in that particular example, is already overwhelming, right? There's maybe nothing special in that day in general, but because it's so new, it's a lot of pressure on the system, and that's what the masculines are feeling right now. Because this new place where they're at, maybe it looks kind of the same on the surface, but deep down they know that things have changed, because they have changed, right? It's a different vibration, different reality. And it's like, how do I reconcile now my new energy, my knowing, the healing that I've received with my surrounding in 3D? So let's see how the twins are taking this. I'll use the spellcaster deck today as the main deck. All right. Sorry about that. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. So yeah, it's like there is this theme of telling yourself stories, and I don't want to put a bad spin on it because it's actually a natural part of life. We live our life through telling stories. Even if we don't tell them out loud, we tell them to ourselves, about ourselves and about people around us. What is happening in the world, what is happening in our life. It's all about stories. And it's important because it's a big part of how we perceive the world, how we process the information, how we remember it, how it settles with us, right? And how we make decisions. And so we're bound as human beings with certain limitations of our brain, of our rational side. We are bound to kind of deduce some parts of the story, to make assumptions, which eventually can lead to like very big difference between the story that we know and tell ourselves and the actual reality, right? But it's not to say that somehow, we are liars or we are being lied to. It's not even about that. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's the way our perception works. But as soon as you start uncovering those moments where you've made assumptions without actually getting enough information, right? Or you thought this was good for you and you went that way and you were so confident about it, but now you see that that was an illusion, right? It wasn't really supposed to bring you what you wanted, and you kind of knew that, but you went with it anyway, right? So as soon as you see it, it's an opportunity to maybe to work through some guilt and shame in those initial moments of realization, but more than anything, to course correct, to be able to make better choices going forward, to say, okay, now I know, now I understand, and I can learn from it, and take it forward. That's the most important part. Okay, with clarifiers, we've got the tower, and that could be the tower moment, by the way. A lot of times it looks like this. You could be thinking that you're maybe the victim in a situation and somebody else was after you, or they were making your life miserable, or whatever that variation is, right? They did you wrong, right? And suddenly you realize that actually you signed up for it, right? Like somehow, yeah, maybe you didn't have enough information and you took some risks, but still, you went for it. Nobody was pushing you. Nobody was, you weren't chained, to something and, forced onto it. You made those decisions, right? You wanted it, at least with the information that you had. So it's like, aren't you supposed to take some responsibility in it? And it might be unsettling at first. Again, in that example, somebody's supposed to hear that. Because it's like, is it my fault then that I was treated poorly, that this thing unraveled? And it's like, no, of course not. But now, maybe, again, you can learn from it. So next time, you don't make too many assumptions of how things are gonna go. You can ask the right questions. You can set maybe some expectations from your side, so the person also knows, where you are. And you can come into alignment, or you will decide that it's not meant to be. And you'll make those decisions before it becomes bad. Whether it's in a personal or professional space. Feminines, your energy right now is 4 of Cups clarified by Page of Cups. Yeah, and I'm getting ringing in my ears. So that's what I started talking about. It's like expectations versus reality, or dreaming versus what is possible, right? There is a part where there's a certain upset that they don't match, right? And then there's analysis paralysis, where it's like, well, I don't really know how to change that. Maybe I'll just wait for things to change for me. Maybe I'll do my prayer, I'll ask my higher power, and I'll wait. But the truth is, and that's what the Oracle card was saying for you, Divine Feminines, is it's not about waiting right now. It's about continuing on your journey. Do the best of your knowledge. Of course, adjust if you see that, if you get more information and you feel like you're not on the right track. Course correct the way you see fit. But don't just stop and wait, especially because that waiting time is going to drive you crazy, right? Emotionally, it's going to be even tougher than taking steps forward where you're not 100% sure if they're getting you closer to your goal, or if your goal is in front, maybe you're going this way and you're actually taking a big detour, right? Trust that even that detour is necessary. That's what this is about. and how much you feel like you're far away from your goal right now. Know that it's possible to eventually take a shortcut and get there. Masculines, your energy is Nine of Pentacles clarified by the Magician. We've seen this pattern in the energy for a while now. Essentially, masculines continue building up their knowledge and courage and empower themselves to live the life that they want, not the life that they feel like they have to live based on circumstances, obligations, promises that they've made, maybe some mistakes that they had made before. For some, it's staying with a certain karmic partner, karmic situation where it feels like I can't just say goodbye and walk away because I already made some promises to this person and I feel responsible. We know that divine masculines have high moral standards, even if it's not as vivid on the outside at a certain stage of their development. Inside, it does exist. And we may not necessarily as feminines know and see how that unfolds, right? Because we see what is mirrored to us in our situation. But in general, that's like a big tell of whether the person is a twin in the first place. Because even in their dark moments, even before they get awakened to the journey, to the spiritual path more consciously, they still have those high moral standards. They have those values. They want to be of help to people. And not just one, they're doing something for it. It may not be in the best way that serves themselves, but it's a very important part for their life, right? And so now it's new territory. It's that new ascended age, next ascended age for the masculine, where now it's almost like not an option anymore. They need to take care of themselves and learn more about themselves and dedicate time to themselves. And for a lot of masculines, it's an unfamiliar feeling, right? Because they're used to be taken care of people who are dependent on them. All right. So the additional question for today. 3 of Pentacles clarified by High Priestess. What do we need to know now about becoming master teachers? About embracing our mission and purpose in this lifetime as twin flames. That big capital T, capital F, where it's first and foremost not about love story between two people. It's first and foremost about sharing the light, helping our planet heal, and raising the vibration, and using your gifts for the goodness of mankind. What do the feminists need to know about this right now? 6 of Pentacles clarified by 6 of Pentacles. I love when this happens. Thank you. My guides are laughing at me. Yeah, it is about being of service, but it is that healthy reciprocity that allows for the flow of energy. And for a moment, it may seem like it's asking you to sacrifice something, right? Or it's like, when is my time? Why am I supposed to always think of how I can help other people? But it's not. And if you're approaching it that way, you're not getting the point. It is about reciprocity, healthy exchange, right? Where you're not sacrificing. You filled up your own cup first, right? And now you're sharing from a place of comfort and love and balance. That's the only way it's gonna work for you and for other people involved, right? But essentially, while on the surface in those situations it may seem like you're giving of yourself and you're just giving, but you're still getting something back, even if those people involved cannot give you anything back right away, right in that moment. The universal law of karma, reciprocity, is gonna give it back to you tenfold, especially if it's in direct alignment with your mission and purpose, right? It's gonna be encouraged, it's gonna be supported. You're gonna get that appreciation and reward, whatever is needed, whatever you asked for, whatever is appropriate in the moment. It may not look the same way, in the pentacle sense, it could be as much as helping with money or helping somebody emotionally get through a tough situation. It doesn't mean that they have to do the same for you. It doesn't even mean that the reciprocation is gonna come from them. It may come from somebody else. As, I don't know, the discount on the product that you needed very much, but you were hesitant because of the price, and then boom, it's there and you're able to afford it. Or something comes in mail that was unexpected but gives you just the right support, just the right resources that you needed. Or suddenly that special person in your life messages you and makes your day better, and that's exactly what you needed at that time, right? So it may look differently. Don't get hung up on it being exactly what you put out there. For masculines, we have Justice clarified by Four of Pentacles. Surprisingly, Justice card is also about the law of karma and reciprocity. And but the angle here is for the masculines not to feel like, it's like, you know, when you stop overgiving and you pay attention to your needs, then you may go to a different extreme, right? And be like, you know what, I've been giving my energy away far too long. Now it's my time. I'm gonna focus on me and give only to myself, right? But it's kind of not what we want either. There should be a balance, and you're supposed to learn that, divine masculines, right? Not to hold off too much of your energy, being afraid that, you know, as soon as you start giving, that people will take advantage of it. Doesn't mean everyone is gonna do it. But it is important to be balanced enough within yourself so you're not giving out of place of need and neediness, you know. You are not trying to manipulate the situation. You're giving it out of the, you know, place of a pure heart. How will the feminine see the connection at this time? Seven of Pentacles clarified by Ace of Wands. Feminines are coming up with a plan, right? They have this new passion, this new fire, and they're learning something. I'm hearing some of you are learning actually about relationships with the masculines, building a trustworthy partnership, life partnership if you wish. You know, whichever aspect of it was vague, was foggy for you, it's coming into clarity right now, and you are doing your research and you're becoming more clear with your intentions, which, by the way, is very important because we are about to have new moon in Leo a couple of days from now. I'll make a video about it. The next one is going to be about new moon in Leo, right? But it's very important to do your homework and be much clearer with your intentions, so that you can send that message to the universe. What is it that you want? What is important to you in that life partnership that you're looking to build with your DM? How the masculine see the connection? King of Swords clarified by the Lover. Masculines are trying to stay rational and have an analytical approach to the situation. The passion, the emotions are so high, but they also understand that there's still a gap between the two, right? And it's like there's something that they need to reconcile from a rational side or from a mindset point of view. Like maybe there is, you know, with twins, there is always at least one and sometimes multiple gaps in terms of society, in terms of how we perceive each other, where our person is kind of not our type, right? And either it's our personal view and conviction, or it could come from our family and culture and religion and whatever else the context is, right? But it's like it's a hard bargain. It's like, yes, I have so much love for this person, but, and then ... fill in the blanks. My family will never accept them because they are of different religion, race, there's, you know, a big age difference, whatever. Or, you know, I've always wanted kids, but with the age that my person is off, this is not gonna happen. Or like they have already told me that they don't want any children ever, right? And it's like a deal breaker for me. So how am I gonna reconcile it? I just gave you some examples, right? This could be countless of amount of scenarios here. And masculines are contemplating one of those scenarios right now of how they had this vision and now reality being something else, and how are they reconciling it. and considering it in a very conscious way of are they even ready to reconcile it, or this is a deal breaker and it's not gonna work. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Hope this was useful. If so, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.